There's no rapture coming because a 1,000-year reign already happened, and they had to try to change the dates to hide the 1,000-year reign. When he comes back, he has a 1,000-year reign, and then there's a time of deception of the devil. And as you can see, these buildings do not have ones in front of them. Those are in J or an I or Anno Domini, which means AD, year of our Lord, or J for Jesus, which would be 725 years in 1,000 years of Jesus, 686 in 1,000 years of Jesus. And it's not just the buildings, coins also have this, but Google or history will tell us it's a 1 because they're trying to hide the 1,000-year reign. And the issue is they tell us all these buildings with these datings were built in the 1800s, but we know that they didn't build these. And a perfect example is in everybody's own city, but this is my city of Scranton, PA. This is the courthouse. This is a Roman-looking building. And this is another castle, like the courthouse. As you can see, it's a green lawn, and this is like the 1940s. Well, now, if you go back even earlier, suddenly, now there's a fountain in front of it. And that may look normal until you realize that there's literally sheds and wood normal homes like cowboy homes on the middle of the courtyard, which weren't there before. So clearly these buildings were built before, and these people settled on top of it because they would have built this building at the same time these buildings were here, and they would have needed to excavate this whole place just to build the courthouse, so they would have not have built this on top of it. And if these people were pooping outside because they had no plumbing, how are they building this fountain with plumbing? Clearly these people are settling in. And just in front of that courthouse is the Roman looking building, which is not here anymore in my city. It is destroyed, not because it was not stable enough, because clearly it's stable enough, because it's made better than every building we have today. It's been destroyed because it's too much proof. And I'm gonna do more videos like this about my own city because it's everybody's own city, so I encourage you all to look at your own cities. But this building is now replaced by a subway. How are we devolving this way, okay? They had no power tools and they're building things like this. And just down the block was this Roman palace that is destroyed today. This is a Roman building. This is not just something they put up. Same thing with this. And this one has a crystal dome. And obviously these buildings have attendance for free energy. So what were they using? They were using technology, which means they were definitely in an advanced period of time. So that would lead to obviously us believing it was a 1,000-year reign. And you can tell these buildings were buried because this is a photo of a year after this building was built, and it's already got dirt marks, and they had to uncover it. And this train station right here is, buried. It has the same type of dirt marks all across because it was buried. Why were these buildings buried if these weren't Roman buildings and Rome was the beast that was worldwide? Hence, buildings like this being in Scranton, PA, or Chicago, or Cuba, or Thailand, or Africa. Anywhere you go, there's Roman buildings because Rome was worldwide and there was a... Now, my next video will be about the mud flood and everything else, so just wait for that. But clearly, these buildings were not built by us. There's no logical way of thinking we built these buildings. And if they were built in the last 1,000 years, most of them, who built them and how? And the buildings built before that were buried, who buried them and why and how? There's only one explanation if you're a Christian. And if you're not, find one.